So today is interview day, main interview day. We have some reservations for interviews, so I'm excited to meet up with those people. Last night was the opening ceremony, which was amazing. Louis, oh my gosh, I really want to introduce myself to him and kind of pitch in my nerdy jobs idea. So today and tomorrow will be kind of the main days that I can figure out all of the good stuff. And then Sunday, kind of, catch up day, do all of those bits. So, all right, let's go in. I love the do, love the hat, love the whole outfit here. But yeah, I definitely would love to cover maybe more of your background, as well as you are a co-director of Telluride Mushroom Festival, but also the publisher of Fungi Magazine, which is top, what would you say, top fungi magazine out there, really?
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
But I mean, to be realistic, we do have by far the largest circulation of any mycological journal in North America. In fact, all the other journals, and a lot of people are like, there's other ones, but there's several other ones, and all of them combined circulation is not even half of ours. It's really, really wildly popular.
Wow, yeah.
So it has, some academic stuff, but it also has a lot of general stuff and poetry and essays and pretty much anything fungal.
Right, and all around the world even.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what kind of pulls your magazine apart from other magazines that you would say?
So I think not being entirely academic.
Okay.
So in fact, most of the academic stuff are like review articles of groups and things like that. We don't publish new species descriptions or anything like that, but a lot of other general stuff and fun stuff. And we, like a lot of other trade magazines, we have regular features every single time. So regular features on photography and culinary and book reviews. So there's stuff for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in a lot of academic libraries and universities get
Absolutely.
it, but also people that really don't even know anything about mushrooms. They just think there's cool stuff. Or
there's stuff to learn. There's so much stuff to learn about. How did you even start the magazine, or who inspired that? How did that really start?
Yep. So we've been in print and digital now as well as of the last few years, since COVID, basically. That sort of led us to go digital. But we've been in print for 18 years.
Okay.
And how did it start? It started with all of the other founding editors of the journal and current review editors, etc. We all have been editors of other academic journals and kind of, tossed around the idea of having something that none of the other journals that we worked for had, like full page, flashy color photos and photography and culinary. And I was, believe it or not, subject editor on, besides a mycological journal, Mycologia, but also as a subject editor of some entomological bug journals.
Wow.
So anyway, so we basically said, we're ready to do this. We were doing the NAMA journal, and that kind of was going away. And so let's do this. And we all made a big list of what we wanted in and who would be the editors. And then when I said, okay, so now who's going to pay for this?
Yeah, right. The big question.
There was like crickets. So I just pulled out my credit card and we put together the first journal, and I sent it out to like everyone that was a member of NAMA and MSA and everybody, and thought, I really hope some people buy a subscription, and they did.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's how we've been in print for so long.
Yeah. How did you decide what the cover photo is for the magazine? I'm kind of curious.
So most of the cover photos, probably 9 out of 10, are photos by Taylor Lockwood. Okay. So we basically, if there's a theme of an issue, or if, whatever the season that the issue's coming out, I will, talk to Taylor, and he's the myco photographer of the world. I mean, he's such a household name. He's done so many art books and everything. So Taylor graciously does our covers almost all the time. Sometimes if it's a special issue devoted to whatever topic, like the current one that has Daniel Winkler's cordyceps on the cover.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Because the issue's about conservation and preservation and stuff. So once in a while, a photo from the article is on the cover, but mostly it's just Taylor and I talk back and forth, and he sends me some photos. I'm like, oh yeah, all of them, please.
Cool.
All of them.
That's awesome. And you also have, background in mycology, plant biology. Kind of give maybe a background on why is it important to combine flora, fungi in a sense?
Yeah. So I have a PhD in plant pathology, and had taught at the university for quite a few years. My start, believe it or not, and what my research area is insects, flies in particular, that are obligate mycophagous, they obligate feeders in mushrooms. So when people see mushrooms with these gross maggots in them and everything, that's my thing.
You're like, yes, that's exactly what I want.
So yeah, basically there's like two piles at the end of a foray. Are these edibles and we're taking them home, or is it garbage that's riddled with maggots? Either way, score. I take it all home. And so, I started out as an entomology student as an undergrad, and had the great fortune that there was a very famous mycologist at Kent State University, where I was an undergrad, Sam Mazer, who was an Alexander Smith student, and but I was studying insects and invertebrates, and I got invited by the entomologist at Kent State University, who was at the time the world authority, or at least the North American authority, on Diptera, on flies.
Okay, yep.
And so I was kind of a hotshot undergrad, so he invited me to come into the lab to do a research project in my junior year, which was a big deal. And so I get in there and I'm like, oh great, I'm going to study flies. And I come in, there's grad students and postdocs and everything. And so he's like, okay, so I know you know about mushrooms because I see you with the botany profs, you go out and get morels and stuff. And my project for you, if you want to take it, it involves studying these flies that have these symbioses with mushrooms.
Cool.
And I'm like, well, I don't really know that much about mushrooms, but I mean, I'm interested in everything.
Right.
He's like, well, here's what. Basically, take it or leave it. If you want to take it, go to this mycologist, Sam Mazer, and make nice, and learn field mycology and how to identify stuff, and then come back to me next semester. And then that was in the 80s, and I've been studying mycophagous Diptera ever since. So,
nice.
Yeah. So it's kind of a lonely field because there's only like 5 of us in the world that are interested.
Pretty niche.
Yeah. So we don't have like our own conference or anything because that would be ridiculous. It'd be sad.
Maybe in the future.
We just meet at someone's house.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So then after that, I really started getting excited about symbioses and symbioses between fungi and plants and bugs and fungi, etc. So my master's work was at Clemson University with endophytic fungi and Clavicaptaceous type fungi, so ergot and things like that. And then my doctorate was supposedly to be on taxonomic work with Agaricus and the evolution of the genus Agaricus. And I didn't really want to be a taxonomist at all. I like ecology and evolution, so but that's what the grant was for. So basically the professor said, here's the project. Again, take it or leave it.
Right.
So I took it, but I had kind of a top secret project going on because I was still into Morchulaceae. And so actually I had a bunch of papers on Morchulaceae in addition to the Agaricus stuff. And then as a postdoc, I worked on oomycetes, so Phytophthora and things like that at Fort Detrick of the USDA ARS at Fort Detrick in Maryland. And that's what my postdoc was on there. And then I started teaching after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you have some books you sent to me as well.
Yeah.
So love those. I actually brought that out for my presentation, and people like to look at the low lichen stuff as well. Cool. So yeah, maybe tell people what kind of books you got or.
Yeah. So, I've sort of retooled, as a lot of people do, or maybe everybody has to do, what my career was many times. So, I worked all of these years, went to college for 11 years and postdoc because I thought I wanted to become a university professor, which I did become. And then, I wasn't totally, that wasn't the be all end all. So I wasn't really sure about that. Anyways, so there's a famous quote by Gary Linkoff, and we have it on the cover of the Gary Linkoff Memorial Edition of Fungi Magazine, where he said, basically stop what you're doing right now, just stop and devote the rest of your life to mushrooms. And so that's basically what I did. I stopped teaching because I'd become a very good friend of his by then, and we did a lot of stuff together. And so he sort of encouraged me to quit. And my wife also, we were starting to have kids, and my wife, she's not an academic or a mycologist or anything like that. So she makes actual real money in a real job. And so I became basically the stay-at-home primary caregiver to the kids. And decided to do something else, and that's when the journal started, and also when I started leading these sort of so-called myco tours around the world, which part to collect stuff, but also to eat good food and to see World Heritage sites. So, anyways, where I'm going with this is that was all going along really, really well, and I started running the festival, and then COVID hit, and so I had to figure out something to do at home while on lockdown. And that's when the books started coming out.
It all happened for a reason then.
Yeah. And so anyways, and I'm, COVID pandemic is obviously kind of on the back burner right now, but I still am getting tapped to do books. So that's fun.
That's fun. That's fun. You wear many hats, obviously. I would love to kind of get a sneak peek for next year, maybe. Is there something that's coming for Telluride Mushroom Festival 2026? Anything new, anything you can spill or no?
Well, so the big name presenters like Paul Stamets or Dennis McKenna or Greg Mueller. I mean, these people, they don't just get invited, a few months before, whatever. They actually get invited years before because of all the travel. So Dr. Kathy Aim, who was here from Purdue University, so this was her second time to be back here, and she's an example, really hard to pin down. The last few weeks, she was in the UK, and then 2 weeks research in Peru, came here, and then today she's flying back home to Indiana, and then the day after that, I think she said she's off to Netherlands or Spain or something, and she was telling me. So almost every single week, she does have a semester every year where she teaches, but every single week other than that, she's not at home, and that's how a lot of people are. Greg Mueller the same; he jet sets all around and everything. So for next year, the people that I've already got booked because they had to be booked a year or more ago, will be as a keynote presenter. Should I really say this? Maybe this can be like edited. No.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, we'll edit it. KK's like, we're not going to edit this. This is totally going to be on there. So one of the big keynote presenters who hasn't been here in a long time will be David Aurora of California, and Mushrooms Demystified book, which was one of my all-time faves. It's one of the Bibles.
Yes.
And also another astoundingly amazing ethnobotany, ethnomycology presenter, kind of, a scion, frankly, of Dennis McKenna next year. And he's been one previous time, will be Mark Plotkin, if you know the name. You have to Google him.
So
there's a couple other people that are also ethnobotanical, ethnomycological that I'm hoping, but they're still not totally locked down. And I'm trying to think of. There's a few that are already booked. So actually, to be honest, most of the program actually is already set for next year. So the big names are already booked or nearly booked, and then a lot of the other regulars, of course, that come every year. They're gonna come. So so that's how it sort of works.
Cool. Okay. Is there like any additional activities, like different kind of forays? Is the truffle thing always been a thing?
The truffle foray was a new thing this year.
That's something that I did miss.
And I guess even though it was really, really dry this year, that was a huge success.
I heard.
I saw some video clips from people that were on the foray, and the dogs are digging, and the truffles are popping, and everyone was sniffing, and it was really, really cool. I guess they found I think dozens in like 5 different species or 6 different species. So
I saw the ID table. I was like, whoa, are all these just truffles? So that was really cool to see and learn.
So, all the time, and I didn't coin this. This comes from Gary. When we'd be out in the woods, Gary would be like, there's so much stuff about the fungal kingdom that's hidden like right under our feet, like right in plain sight. But you have to know how to decode what the fungus is doing in order to see and appreciate what its role is and why it's important. So these truffle fungi, you're not going to find them. If you have an animal like a dog or something, but you're not going to find them unless you're roaming around and see maybe some like little chips where something dug something up. And if you kind of feel around under the moss, that's about the only time people find truffles, again, unless they have an animal that sniffs them out. But they're really common. Obviously, they're super common here. We've never found them before here.
Yeah, I didn't even know that they were around here, but everything's here, honestly.
And truffles are everywhere, and especially dry areas, beaches and deserts and things like that. I think they're probably super common. They're adapted for that kind of habitat. But unless you have a way to get at them, how are you going to know?
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, can we let people know how they can kind of get involved with maybe the festival, or where to get kind of more information on the festival, or even the magazine?
Yeah. So the magazine, you can just Google Fungi Magazine or fungimag.com,
Cool.
and it's easy to find. The Telluride, you can find multiple ways, because within the Telluride Institute website, there's a link to, or a page that we have. The Mushroom Festival has its own YouTube channel, so you can see videos and things of recorded lectures. But I mean, if you just Google Telluride Mushroom Festival or go to the Facebook page, you'll see links everywhere for it. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for chatting with us today.
Yeah, of course. My pleasure.
Awesome. So thank you for watching this year's video on Telluride Mushroom Festival. I had such a blast. I learned so much. I met so many different people. Next year is going to be awesome. If you also want to be on the podcast, venture to florafungapodcast.com. My contact's on there. You can click away and email me, contact me any which way. Hit me up. Follow me on all socials. I'm everywhere. You can't get rid of me. Flora Funga Podcast. Peaches.